System Philosophy, Part 10, Philosophy versus Knowledge. Before we start this topic, I'd like to tell you that I'm changing some of the aspect of this online topic. The change is gonna be that I will be making my online topic as unique as possible, so that topics that I am introducing here doesn't collide with my website topic. So you get double source of information, but you have to get both sources in order to understand system philosophy correctly. But still, I recommend web content much more, because web content is much focused on system philosophy. Well, online topics are basically, I guess, supplements. Okay, I'll start. This is, again, I'm not gonna go off script, and this is just gonna be free talking. Like, the way you hear is gonna be what I'm thinking right away, real time. So I have been thinking about philosophy versus knowledge. Why I want to bring this topic up is this is one essential concept that I have introduced in system philosophy, which is I will provide you a vision where knowledge is less than philosophy. A lot of people go to school, go for higher education for knowledge. They think knowledge will change their life. Sometimes knowledge will influence your philosophy, and that is kind of true. And some can argue that with knowledge you will become you will have a better philosophy. However, that's not really the case. Knowledge is not something that makes you unique. Why, you may ask? Because knowledge is something that can be learned by others. Something wouldn't be knowledge if you cannot teach it to others. That's why, in a sense, knowledge in itself is not very unique to you, unless you're the creator of a specific branch of knowledge, and that might be exception. But the point here is, I want you to think about the following: is I'm trying to push philosophy to be one of the requirement for K to 12 education. One of the reason being that philosophy change your understanding of knowledge, such that philosophy, for example, if a kid born with the philosophy that education is not necessary, then chances are he's not gonna be doing well at school. However, if a kid with a philosophy to pursue greater advancements, such as education, he's gonna, his thought is gonna change, and he's gonna, study harder in school and become better at school just because influence of their philosophy. Philosophy is extremely important, that it influences you, so your way of life, until you die. For example, for people who have a philosophy, that criminal is fine, criminals, they haven't make a living as well. If you have a set of philosophy that makes crime a normal norm, then that will make you more somewhat more likely to commit crime. Philosophy is influence you in many ways. However, knowledge won't. Knowledge, just understanding itself, just won't help you, because you just won't. So philosophy, in the end, is more important than knowledge, because, in conclusion, in summary, is basically my argument is that with philosophy as a base, it changes your way of getting knowledge. And to me, it seems knowledge is free. most of the knowledge, you can get it if you try hard enough. However, how do you try hard enough? You have to have the philosophy to push you through and to, work hard enough to get the knowledge. So in the end, philosophy versus knowledge, philosophy will win the importance. Of course, that would be my side of argument. But I've been thinking it over because you might argue that I'm kind of biased because I'm a philosopher, and but that's not really the case. I personally know a lot of knowledge about life, but I still think philosophy is a main thing that pushes me to get those knowledge. For example, my knowledge as computer. My philosophy at computer is somewhat important because I believe computing the data interpretation of computer, and basically computer teaches you how to manage data and process data, how to make data into something more than just dead data, make it into something actually logical, and that can actually push human to that is actually something that will push human beyond physical limits. But that's something that I don't want to tell you about right now. That's another topic that I don't feel like talking about right now. So yeah, this is a topic. But to add more depth to the topic, there are many ways to interpret it. What I just said. One way of interpreting is philosophy is a gateway to knowledge. Knowledge is just knowledge. However, philosophy is the reason why you pursue knowledge. Are you getting the idea? So basically, the reason to the system, the cause, the system of cause basically, is what makes you to get knowledge, and that is philosophy, and that is much more important than knowledge itself. But I do like people to argue about this topic because this is not part of system philosophy, so it's flawed obviously. So obviously you can flaw it because it's not part of system philosophy. But I did like to talk about it because it's part of system philosophy concept that you have to understand. That's part of philosophy that you have to understand, because system philosophy is part of philosophy obviously. So there's a connections.